landing page. We're going to go over here to the background, and there is another stack of images here at the bottom. There is a garden shed, which is just a nice, simple little, vignette. And then there are the diverse couples. So there's a couple in the living room, which is going to take just a moment. So they're like holding out their cat. There's also a couple in the kitchen, just for a more well-rounded view of the world, right? And of course, you can always build your own backgrounds in, but I figured it'd be nice if we had some ones you could just use anytime, which is kind of fun. And like the fams hanging out, trying to look for a house. And then this is an older couple kind of sitting on like a little dock out, kind of relaxing. Maybe they just downsized or out enjoying their glass of wine at their new condo on the waterfront. Who knows? And then last but not least, we have a couple in the living room enjoying some breakfast, kind of chilling out. So just wanted to make sure that you knew these were live and in here. So again, that's in here. You've got your map lady, thoughtful ladies, always there thinking about Taco Tuesday. But you've got all these options, plus these that are for specific instances. And then we added in these for a little more of a diverse touch. And then you can always add a custom background in just by linking the URL to an image right here, pressing OK, and then it props that in the background. So any questions on that? I don't see any that came up in chat. Pretty self-explanatory for those of you who have been here a while using Next Level, but I wanted to make sure you saw that because it's been one of those things where I keep poking at product going, hey, where's my images? Poke, poke, poke. Yeah, and it finally happened. It was great.
Everybody buys houses. Let's get that acknowledged in the system here. Yeah.
For sure. Well, I think we need some with some animals in it because a lot of the homeowners are single and or their kids are fur kids.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to think about. But
you know what we can do, Annalisa? It's kind of the product team is so busy with lots to do, so it did take a little lift to get them to work on that. To remind them. But you know what we could do? We could just provide some image URLs that people could put in too.
Yeah, I have a bunch that I have a bunch that we can use and look at that I've saved. So
we could upload the images online so that people can put the custom URL into the page.
Well, I found a really cool tool that helps you upload an image and get the direct link in seconds.
Cool.
Yes. So there's this little guy here, and it's related to the app that I linked. Where'd it go? Post Images, Easy Image Link Uploader. So you can either use this website URL or you can download the plugins or the apps. But basically, if you want to upload an image, you just have this little guy sitting on your desktop and you can click Upload Images. Then you can just grab whatever image you want. And it gives you a little window here saying I'm uploading it. And then it gives you the direct link immediately right here. So you can just click copy.
What's the catch?
I don't know.
They're hosting all these images.
You need to send me $5 a month to use this, Ryan. That's the catch.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they've got significant. They're going to have bandwidth and hosting things here, and I don't see any ads. That's why I'm asking what the catch is. Usually, this would be pretty ad supported.
I don't know. I mean, you can pay for premium, but I haven't really gone that far yet. I haven't needed to. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's extra features. Okay.
I think there are. I think it's kind of like Screencast-O-Matic where you get the simple stuff, but then if you want to goose it up, then you got to pay, which, that makes sense.
Fair is fair.
Right. So I thought this was a pretty neat tool because then you just grab the link and then you can slap it into your landing page as a custom background image. You can use it as a direct link if you're going to update an image on your website on a tile. These are things that you can do pretty darn easily. Oh, and Dennis is saying that's a great idea, Dennis. A fenced backyard is common. That's a good idea for the other backgrounds, and different fenced backyard images probably just due to how the fencing differs from area to area around here across the States and Canada. All right, perfect. Okay, so the other thing I did want to speak to today is just some Web and IDX tools that you really should learn about sooner or later. I did a little thinking on this, and as I've been doing my coaching over the last year and then training previous, these are questions that come up more often than not, or things that I bring up with people saying, hey, you need to know about this now. Because these are things that even if you're not completely confident about Web IDX quite yet or messing with settings, you can confidently go to these settings today and have success with them. That's pretty much, I'm putting myself out there with confidence in you, but it's not a big scary like you might think if you're kind of intimidated by thinking about Web and IDX and HTML and all that stuff. So the first thing I'd like to do is talk a little about background images and secondary logos. So within your kvCORE dashboard, if you go down this left-hand side, and if you don't like these little pop-ups sliding out as you hover over, you can click this little hamburger guy here at the top left of the kvCORE dashboard, and that expands that menu out, or you can click it again and detract it. But if you go in here and hover over Web and IDX, you can go into website settings if you're an agent. Now, if you're an admin for a company office team, I highly suggest you go into Website Manager and then choose the account you want to affect change on. This is a big one for you if you're an admin. So make sure you choose wisely on what you are affecting change on. But that being said, if you're an agent, like normal people normally in here, normally working agent seats, hover over Web and IDX, go into website settings. Now, the section we're looking at in general here is going to be background image. So I'm just going to use Control F. That brings up this little search guy up here at the top of my windows, and Command F works on a Mac. So basically, you can type in anything in here and find the match in seconds instead of scrolling your little heart out trying to find things in here. So if you just type in like background or part of it, then it'll start bringing up likes, images. And then you can use your arrows at the top to go to each of the background options. So it kind of gives you a nice quick way to navigate Web and IDX. So when you're in here, you do have the option to use different background images tied to kvCORE that we have provided. So if you don't see any little trash can, like a little shadow over here on the right-hand side, that basically means these are images that we as kvCORE have provided to you to choose to run as a static background image on your website. Now, if you've added a video to your website here, the video will always play on the desktop laptop experience, and the background images will always play on or show on the mobile experience. So your background images are important no matter if you have it just on the mobile only or on the front side of your website as well. So right now, if they were to go to my website on mobile, you would see my checked off images up here. And then if you want to click off other ones, you can just click, add them, remove the clicks, whatever you need to do going forward. Now, if you want to add your own image, you do it right here. And it says upload your image. Now, the optimal background image size is 1600 by 650. Otherwise, you're going to get something looking really, really wonky if you don't size it correctly. And then you'll be like, oh, what have I done? I need help. So do it right the first time. All you have to do is grab your image, and then you can go over to another tool that I recommend called Resize. And I did link that on the document for you as well to use. But basically here, if you find an image that you like, or maybe you have permission to use and you've got the URL or it's on your computer, you can actually click in from your computer and grab the image, and then continue to editing mode. And the nice thing about this is you've got this little resize your picture, custom size, then you can put in the width and height that you need. And sometimes, depending on the image that you've picked, it might not be high enough, depending on if you got it when it was already changed or what have you. So right now, this one's already 540 by 540, so it's not going to resize to a background image, but I wanted to let you know to look for these things. So when it doesn't save and it goes, something's wrong with this, you're not going, well, what the heck, man? Annalisa led me wrong. No, she didn't. She just wants you to be aware that you can actually take a look and see what the actual width and height is there to know if that 1600 by 650 is going to work, right? So you can affect change on your image. I'm just going to make it a little smaller just so we have a update. And then it'll say, well, how do you want to format this? You can choose. Is it a GIF, a JPEG, a GIF, PNG, BMP? JPEG works. Just click I'm done, resize my picture. Then you can download the image. So now we've downloaded it. We can go over here, upload the image. It'll always start with RSZ for resized. If you want to have it online in a file, or then you can also go in to your kvCORE dashboard, and that's when you would click open. And then if you want this to be saved and uploaded, do not forget to click this little arrow.
I mean, how could we forget?
I've seen it happen.
I always forget.
I've seen it happen. But that's one of those things, because they'll look like you're done, right? And then you're like, oh, wait, the arrow. And it's the same idea for your secondary logo. So if you have your own office or branding that sits on top, like with your broker, you can actually add a secondary logo to your website. And that's going to sit up here next to this logo that looks like it's broken on our test account. So we'll have to fix that. But typically, you would see a logo sitting over here, and then you can add your secondary logo to sit just to the right of it. So when you are in your dashboard, you can click on this and then choose that secondary logo that you resized or that you want to use. And then don't forget to use the up arrow. And sometimes these load immediate, sometimes it takes them a little bit to hit your website. So give it a shake or two. And if you don't see it within a half hour, 45 minutes, then ping support. But I would just let it hang out, percolate, and you'll see how quickly it added that secondary logo up here. And right now I have a background video, so we're not seeing my still background images here. All right, I want to check to see if there's any questions so far. Nothing out there. Okay. Now let's go.
Is that what the west side of the country looks like?
I think this is Texas.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, I think I grabbed this from like the river over between Oklahoma and Texas, or right up there, I think.
Yeah, if it's west of the Mississippi, it's Greek to me. But yes, cool.
It's more Scandinavian, but I get you.
Yeah, it's a cool image. It's a cool video.
Yeah, well, I wanted to give someone an example of what it would look like if they had a river video, and I just stuck it up there so they could see it.
Yeah. And
then, of course, at the bottom, if you want to see another video, of course, I have for your viewing pleasure a little Rick Astley. So there you go.
There you go.
So going back to the session here, that's so funny. I also wanted to talk a bit about listing and the listing section within your web and IDX settings. This is a huge one that people really need to be aware of, because you can do all sorts of neat little things in this section. So to access this, we're going to go into Web and IDX, website settings, and it's already there. So I'm going to go up to the top. And when you go to the index here, you're just going to click listings here at the bottom. And that's going to pop you down to the very bottom of that whole menu. Now, the MLS of which I'm connected has all of these types served being pulled in from it and landing on my search criteria on the front side of my site. So when people land here, they can click in, like they can put in their area and then this, and it's automatically going to pull all of this unless they go through and go, no, nope, 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 you know. And you might be relying a bit on your client base to like think about jumping in here and doing that, right? So if you look at this list too and you're like, well, I don't do mobile homes or business ops or farms or fractional or boat docks, you know, whatever it happens to be that your MLS is pulling in here, all you have to do is jump in here and say, adios, commercial and mobile homes and business ops, or whatever you don't want to have showing up on your site. So you can get rid of these really easy. And sometimes pending and contingent to be kind of a mess when the market's so quickly moving things on and off. But you can, like, you know, take a look at these and see what you do or don't want to work with. And some people just leave them here because they farm things out with referrals. But some people are also like, no, I don't go out to country land or do rentals. And then when you save it, it'll actually, when we go back to the site and I reload it, and sometimes it's instantaneous, sometimes it takes a little bit to update, but we'll see if that worked. And here I'm going to go into search. More options. I'm going to go with the filter just a little bit of a different way. And then here's where they'll also see it here. So they can click on the ones they want in the search, right? But then they still have to unclick. Yeah, it wasn't instantaneous. But then they have to go in here and unclick. So make sure that you go through your types served and give the old 86 to the ones you really don't want showing up on your website. Now, as we scroll down, the next one that's a big one to hit on is this default sort and default display. So you can have the sort default land a high to low, low to high, bed, bath, footage, popular, etc. You also have 3 options for your listing display of a grid, a list, or a map. If we go back to your site, so right now we're looking at the map view. If I was to go in here and do a quick search in San Diego, I'll just put that in there. It'll show me the default map view sorting high to low right here. Now I can also choose to have my default view be a grid, which is going to be boxes across and boxes deep. It's pretty much infinity. As they scroll down, it keeps scrolling and scrolling, and then they can kind of hit forward on some of these. The other one, of course, is going to be the list view, where it's going to have an image of the property and then information to the right. So these are your options for default. And then, of course, once they're here, they have the ability to, change up their filter, change their own viewpoints and so forth. But this is where you can affect that default display. Now, a big one here is popular options. And I think this also can hit home, I guess, quite figuratively now that we're talking about listings. But basically, this is where you can add in information that pulls directly from the MLS of which you are attached. So if you want to add in amenities or like accessibility information or association fees or attached styles, you can drop in amenities. You can go in here and look at all of these different filters, and it'll be different for each of you because it's pulling from unique MLS information. So if you need to make sure there's an elevator or covered parking or these types of options on your site, you can actually build this in. And when you click save, it actually adds these on to your site. So right now, if we go to more filters and we scroll down, it kind of has everything that's built in, like, of course, the where is it, how many bed, bath, all that good stuff. And then it has these property amenities built in. These are all standard for pretty much all of you. However, when I refresh this, you're going to see this keyword section bumped down and those 3 filters that I just added right underneath rental options. So let's give that a reload and give it a nice dramatic pause. There we go. Okay. So now, drum roll, please. There we are. So now you've built in things that are unique to your experience for users using your site, which can go a real long way when you take real thoughtful elements like this and add them. So you can go in here, and if they're like, hey, it needs to have a heated pool or RV parking, you can add that in there. Does it need to have an elevator? Does it need to have fencing, and what type of fencing? So you've got all of these kind of filters you can add. And again, to get to this information, you'll hover over Web and IDX on the left, website settings, and we're already on that page, but we'll just pretend I wasn't. You'll come to this page and you'll look at listings here at that last section on that index, pops you down to the bottom. You can adjust your listings. Don't forget to hit save. And then going on down here to your default sort, you can choose how you want it to sort. Click save, choose your default display, click save, and then add these on and click save.
Awesome. Did you show the pending, how to get rid of the pending ones? I might have missed that.
Yes. So basically, if it's in these listings section here, you just uncheck it.
Yeah,
So
I know I had that issue where I am. It's in there and it was bugging me. I finally figured out how to do it. I think for some people, your site will show pending listings, and it's kind of annoying.
Depending, because you can also, well, if you haven't removed it here, or maybe it's like on a note that
Oh,
we
there it
pull from
is.
like a limited listing label, maybe.
Yeah, I can see it right there. Sorry, you see it
That's
like
okay.
under the, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Also, something to look at here is the limited listing labels. It's kind of interesting, and people sometimes are like,
Yeah.
the who and the what now. So let me find that keyword real quick here. So the limited listing labels basically speaks to allowing kvCORE to pull in listing labels from listings on your site from the MLS or not. So if you turn these off, it's going to remove a lot of the listing labels that might come just along with the MLS information, right? Or you can turn it off and just have things be real simple. It won't remove an open house or a just listed label, but others it might, like pool, golf, that kind of thing. So that's another key one. I wonder why it's all the way up here. Well, it's not for me to know. Okay. So any questions, anybody out there? I don't see anything that's come through, but I just want to check in. Anybody learning anything new? I hope. Let me know in the chat. Throw me a bone. Something, something. Okay. So the next, Gina Marie, of course. Thank you. So the next thing I wanted to speak to is adding in some really easy review links to your site, like in seconds, well, probably a minute or two. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at your headers and your footers. And the first thing we're going to do is add a review to the footer of your site. And this is an example where I'm going to add in a Google review. So in this case, we're going to go into Web and IDX, and then the website settings where we are, and then we're just going to keyword search footer. And it's going to pop us right to this footer information. Now, right now on my site, I have a widget embedded in here for So Tell Us, which was with one of the people that I did coaching with recently. So when I open up my site and I go to the very bottom of my site, I need that to go away. There we go. And I go to the very bottom of my site. This is the So Tell Us review embedding right here on their iframe. Now you can do the same thing if you have an iframe for other rating like 5-star, Google reviews, etc. When we go back over here, all we need to do is grab the information. In this case, it's going to be from Google reviews. And I believe I linked it. If I didn't, I'm going to have to find it again. Doc link, here we go. So basically this one's saying, hey, you need to have your Google business account, get the link, the iframe to the information for your business page for your reviews and all that good stuff. So in this case, this one was Brenna Anderson's business link. And then here is the share button. And we can actually click embed a map. Now the two sizes that work well in that time, in that amount of room is the small and medium. I do not recommend large. You could customize the size, but I'd say small or medium do the trick. So you can click on whichever one you want. And it kind of shows you what those size differences are. And there is your iframe right here. All you have to do is click copy HTML. Go back to your dashboard where it says custom footer, and I'm just going to replace this one and paste in my iframe right here and click save. Now the drum roll is if I go over here and refresh it, did I do it correctly? I'm pretty sure I did.
Your reviews and testimonials are a really good thing to put there as people scroll down.
But this is kind of cool because then you can land it right here.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing you can do is you can see up here in my featured areas, I also have an area for my Google reviews here. So there's a couple of ways you can add these reviews in on a custom page as well. So I'm going to open both of these just so you can see the difference. So one of these, like when I click on this one, my Google reviews in business, it takes me to an actual embed information that I just embedded here from my Google review site. When I go over to the other one, let's see here. I need to close a couple things here. Sorry about that, everybody. When I go back to my site and look at the other one for Google reviews, it actually takes me directly to that Google map and review information for her. So you really have two options to land this here. Now, to do this, it's super, super, super simple. So all we need is this iframe for the direct one. So we're going to go to our Web IDX, website content, custom pages. And you'll see I've got my Google reviews in here. So this one is going to take us right to that Google page. So what I did is I typed in Google reviews here. I left the title category of Google reviews. I skipped the content part. And I dropped in her link right here for Google Business. And then I clicked save. And that does a hyperlink directly from the site. So I can just go right over here, click on Google reviews, and it just takes me off of the website to her review page. Or I could take my code from here, my iframe, copy my HTML, and then I can go in to like my Google reviews in business. Here's the one that I created. And basically, I named it, made a category, find me on Google, and then I used this embed code guy. So it's kind of like the greater than, less than source code icon. You click on that, and that is where you add that iframe information. Paste it in, click save, and it actually embeds that in. So if we were to recreate this, we could click new page right here. And this is where we'd say, you know, Annalisa's reviews, you know, whatever we're creating here. And then you'd click the little greater than, less than source code guy, slap that code right on in there, click save. And then what you can do is add in a meta tag description, which would be something like Annalisa Dolan's real estate reviews, or, you know, and then maybe it's learn more about real estate in Clark County, Washington. Because these are the two sentences that are going to show up under the information when people Google information about you. And then click save. Why is it not saving? Oh, sorry, I gotta get a field over here. This always trips me up, that one right there. Now we can click save. And then it's going to make it live on the site. And if I go over here and refresh, we should see me right here on Annalisa's review. People click on it, takes them right to the site to see that embedded map. So you've really got those two options. You can either direct them directly to the review, so they're looking at on your website, which to me I think is a little better than moving them off of your branding, or you can, you know, put it right here. So either move them off your site by directing them to Google directly, or drop the information here so they can read it and keep it, them on your site. What do you think, Ryan? Snoozing?
I like it.
You're snoozing.
I'm not snoozing. I was muted. I was muted.
I'm kidding. Kind of. All right. Now, the other thing I want to mention is a really groovy option that I've had a lot of people asking me, like, look, my demographics that I normally market to. I specialize in downsizing with senior homes or helping people age in place, or, you know, these types of things. And my font needs to be larger on the site. So, you know, some people will be like, look, my font's just not large enough over here. We need to give it a little bit of a bump. So you can do that. There is a little hack that you can use to do that. So what we're going to do is drop down to the section that I added. Oop, I'm on the wrong doc. That's why I can't find it. Bear with me, guys. I feel like I'm new. Okay. Okay, so here's the hack for making the font larger on the site top tabs. So I wrote about this on our Facebook discussion group. And I thought it was pretty groovy because it actually allows you to make this a lot larger across the top. So this is actually the bumped size to make it easier for people to read. So what you're going to do is hover over Web and IDX on the left, jump into website settings, and then you're going to keyword search header. Now, when you get to the header, what you're going to do is copy this piece of code right here, all the way down to that style part. So nothing more, nothing less than what you see right here. Copy it. Jump back into your dashboard, paste that code in, click save, and we should see an updated font size pop in here in just a moment. So it bumped it up a little bit in size, or it should. It hasn't taken effect yet, but what will happen is it's going to make it a couple of sizes bigger, so it's easier for people to read. And when you look at this, you can see information in here. I think the size is in here. Yeah, I think it bumps it up one size. But that's a nice little hack to kind of make it easier. And the gal that I did this for, let me see if I can get to her site. That was Real T1 Lorraine De La Cruz. That's right. So let's pop over to hers. But you can see that's how much bigger it makes it. So there's the size when it actually goes into play. And then this is the size that it currently is. So it's a marked difference. So if this is something that you need to do, you can easily do that in under 5 minutes today. All right. Oh, and Natalie's saying, hey, where's the doc? You need to Venmo me $8. No, I'm kidding. Let me grab the link for you. All right. Copy link. All right. It's out to everyone. And all the other docs that I've been referencing, as well as the other links that I've included, are all referenced on this doc for you.
I think we have to, you have that public, I can swap that.
I think I did, didn't I? Oh, wait, let me get, yep, nope, I didn't.
I always forget that.
Habits. I learned it by watching you.
Yeah. No, they changed that not too long ago.
Oh yeah, it's not letting me.
It defaults to, no, I just did it. It probably is messing you up because I did it real quick.
Oh, okay, well, as long as you've done it, then we're good.
It should be okay now, guys.
Yes, it is. Okay. Awesome. So really, those are the big hitters that I wanted to make sure we hit on, just because I think these are important aspects that you can really take control of now and improve a little bit of look and feel and offerings on your site via your Web and IDX. So are there any other questions you guys want to go over? I mean, I can open up the mics. Are you feeling good? You want to go take a nap, sell a house?
I liked it. There's always stuff in there that I forget is there.
Yeah.
Very useful tidbits.
Well, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to go through and just unmute all of your mics, or allow you to talk. So if you do want to talk, you can unmute yourself and throw out a question. And I think I've done that for everyone. Yeah, I've made it so you can unmute and speak if you want to. Well, you know what? Because Gina Marie is out there and I interact with her a lot, but I haven't really talked with her. If you wouldn't mind, I would love to talk with you and find out how it's going with you on kvCORE, what you're enjoying using, what a success story. I'd love to hear it from you. Or anybody else.
Putting her on the spot.
I am. She's been voluntold. She's like, cool, unmute me. All right. Let's see if I can unmute you. It looks like I've unmuted you, but you have to unmute yourself to talk on your side. Well, isn't technology grand, folks? This might be the end for us, Brian, unless you have something else that you'd like to pass on to everybody.
No, this is a great session. Thanks, Annalisa.
Yeah. Oh, we should make sure, actually, if we go into the dashboard, be sure to go into the training calendar.
Yes.
Because we have some pretty hot goss coming up.
You know what? Let's actually show that. I was going to talk about this Thursday, but if you look at going into next week.
Well, hold on a minute.
Go ahead. You go first.
Yeah. So these inside real estate product updates and feature deep dives are going to be tomorrow, the Wednesday after, and the Wednesday after that. And then we'll have other things continuing on. However, the ones that we're hitting on coming up are really great sessions that I would really encourage all of you to make time to attend. I created events for these in the discussion group. So these are the upcoming events. There's the fall release for the Steer playbooks. There is the kvCORE Smart CRM or CRM updates and releases, and how to attract and convert sellers. So all three of these events are coming up. So this one is tomorrow. This one is the following Wednesday and the Wednesday after that. It has one registration link and it's on that calendar. So make sure that you register for these, and these will be sent out and recorded. So if you miss it or you have to ditch out like halfway in or you get there late, you'll be sent the whole recording. And we'll also have it available on insiderealestate.com/webinars. So with that, Ryan, what would you like to talk about? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Annalisa, it's Gina Marie. Finally get to speak with you.
Fun.
I'm sorry, I unmuted myself.
I mean, I always think there's like 3 ways I can mute myself here. So I'm always like, wait, what is it? Hold on. Yeah, I get it.
I'm usually in charge of the Zoom on my end, so it's in a different place. So I missed it. Sorry.
No, no apology needed.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for letting me speak with you.
Of course.
Yeah, everything's going great. You know, I'm a team coordinator right now, 18 agents, and all at different times that they join the team.
Sure.
And I have challenges with all of them. You know, they don't want to do things on their own. They don't want, so I'm holding sessions and, reaching a couple of them at a time. However, I also have set up kvCORE website for a friend of mine that I used to sell with, and she's doing really well. And I'm following all of Ryan's strategies for her. And, since I'm doing it for her using her money, I'm a little more cautious.
Sure.
So I'm, she's given me some leeway recently. So I'm going to show her what it could really do so she can do some awesome things. Because I can't say enough about the power behind this. I mean, I'm not selling right now. So, it's not useful to me in that way.
Right.
And I'm trying to get it through to these people who are selling and, have the means to do it and are on social media all over and have the sphere, and
it's a slow burn.
It boggles me because this tool is free to them,
right?
On the team, and believe me, I'm working my butt off for it.
I believe it. I mean, if you're coordinating that many people, it's got to be like herding cats.
Yeah, and I just saw your tagline.
On my website.
I loved it because our team leader.
I forgot about that. Cat herder number 2.
That is hilarious because my team leader always says it's like herding cats, and I'm like, Yes. You know, all the different personalities. So, you know, you're
Right.
dealing with that, but
And how they learn. Yep.
right, of course. And
Mhm.
I'm, you know, trying to get all of them. And so it's best if I do it a couple at a time. Because, you know, they don't show up if you hold it for everyone.
Yeah.
Tried to do it in person. We had some technical difficulties, so that was a bust. Just a couple weeks ago, I was so aggravated. But the Zoom is working, and if I can get them right when they join the team, they stay excited. And they get their contacts in. It's the people that have been there that are like, yeah, I haven't needed it, you know. But when they need it, I talk them through it and they see it, they get excited, and
Right.
just trying to keep them excited.
So
Yeah.
next,
You know, oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Brian. I was going to say there's
say
some
next
good
week-
stuff coming.
yeah, what
Yeah.
I was going to bring up was starting next week, we're starting a 4 webinars a week quick start series that'll just recur every week, as well as a new quick start course that goes along with. But it'll basically be like your intro to kvCORE as a rolling boot camp that you can probably get those agents plug into. And if they miss like
Mhm.
the Tuesday session one week, they can just hop on the next Tuesday.
From
Oh.
your lips to God's ears.
Yeah,
will
we
work on
know.
that.
I know.
I will work on that.
I have the same issue here. You know, the office here is about 30 people, and realistically, probably about 4 or 5 are really plugged in. You know.
Really? Oh, that
Yeah.
makes me feel a little better. Not for you, but
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
it's just the way it is.
In the
I mean,
grand
some-
scheme, it's just people.
yeah, realtors, you know, I'm one. So, and I'm not trying to sound negative. I just, you know, they want now. They want now.
Well, and it's
Don't
a
tell
business
me.
where people, so like myself, I've been a customer service call center product manager in a seat all day type job my whole life, right? So I am dialed in to sit and talk, and boy, can I talk, right? But realtors, it seems to me that with their real estate life, you need to be fluid and you need to be able to go where you need to go and get the thing you need right then. And I think that's the difference in the whole mindset of having to sit and go to a class sometimes.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this is you can direct them to go to this, and then maybe you create a contest where you say, if you go to all 4 of these, you know, you could win a property boost from the company, like some type of an incentive. I don't know if that might work or not, but
that's a great idea. I did have that conversation with my team leaders, and you know, that's another challenge, you know, independent contractors, they don't want to force them to do anything. And, you know, they don't want to hold them accountable. And it's, you know, it could be limited, but there has to be some accountability, I think, if you're going to be on the team, because they give them a lot of tools. And
yeah, one good way is with lead flow. You know, if there's budget to either include people or exclude people based on their participation.
Yeah, they won't do it.
And add them into a pond. Really?
They won't.
So they like ramen for dinner, not steak.
Yeah, they won't do it. That's another sidebar conversation I'd love to have, because
Gina,
I'd love some help. Yeah.
If you can get the owners, if you want to message me, I'd be happy to do a meeting with you and the owners, and just, we can call it like an agent engagement or a kvCORE success, but I can play good cop or something. And
oh, that's very cool. I'll take you up on that one.
Yeah, I'll PM you my email here. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was thinking like you could either have an incentive with a property boost, or maybe, you know, there's a drawing for somebody wins an hour of coaching or something like that with us or with you or something. But I don't know. I just think there could be some good opportunity there. Hopefully we can get you guys with some more solid feet under you with that foundational learning.
Yeah, I would love that, because usually, you know, previous careers, I've been a little more persuasive than I have been with this situation.
It's a whole different animal.
So
it's apples and oranges.
I know. It's just,
they're not salaried or hourly, they're contracts. So it's a whole different ballgame.
And this is why I don't have my own team. Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a little frustrating, and self-gratification only gets you so far. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is so neat, you know, and do a session and record it and give it to them, and then nothing.
you should drop in like some things like halfway through a session. Like, and if you're hearing this right now, message me and you'll get XYZ and just see how many people respond. And just put a little Easter egg in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Sure.
But I love everything you guys do. I could listen to you all day, really.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. We
Definitely
try to have fun.
I have an idea I want to try to see. I'll take it as a challenge to get your team engaged. So email me.
Okay. I will.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to drop Annalisa.
Okay.
Thanks, Gina.
Okay, thanks.
We're done. Thank you so much, Jean. It was great to finally speak with you.
Yes,
and,
nice to hear you.
Yeah, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and we will see you on Thursday, right?
Thursday. Yep.
All right. Catch you on the flip, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.